Hello and welcome to another edition of Droppin Baums with me, your host Corey Baumeister. As always, brought to you by the lovely folks over at StarCityGames.com, bringing you the best in trading card needs, and now an online tournament series coming to Star City Games. So anybody who didn't hear, this coming up weekend, not only do we have Players Tours, but we also have a new SCG online series that is starting up. That has actually been going already, but the first big tournament is this Saturday, June 20th. So I know I'm going to be playing it. I hope you will be as well. If you're not playing in the Players Tour coming up this weekend. So I'm going to be playing, today I'm going to be playing Eli Loveman's Rakdos sacrifice list that he made the top 8 of the Players Tour last weekend. Piloting this deck that is a little different looking because, yeah, we're playing Fiend Artisan, we're playing a couple weird one-ofs, but nothing is really reinventing the wheel in the main deck. Nothing too crazy. But what I'm loving the most about this deck is the sideboarded 4 Rotting Regisaurs. Just a card that I think is taking advantage of the metagame right now so incredibly well. Excuse me, especially against Temur Reclamation, which I expect to be the biggest deck of the tournament, maybe whopping a total of 40 to 50%, something like we saw the last weekend at the Players Tour. And it just won. It won both events. It had great percentages. I have no reason to suspect that people are not going to just play this deck next week, either in the Players Tours, either one of them, or the SCG event. So I think coming prepared with a plan to beat them is what I want to be doing. And I think this deck may be our saving grace for this. So fast forward to any of the 3 matches below. If you want to, we played 3 great games, and then I talked in the deck tech about the specific card choices, as well as talked about our matches. So if you don't want any spoilers, don't fast forward to that. And I suppose I'll address the giant black eye that I have. Turns out when you're playing basketball, don't run into somebody's elbow. So, yeah, figure I'd just address the elephant in the room there. So, all right, everyone, thank you so much for watching the intro here. Let's get to the matches because they do not disappoint. This deck is awesome. We'll see you in round number 1. All right, and let's get to round 1 here with Rakdos Sacrifice. All right, I'm going to be on the play. Ooh, I think this has to be a mulligan. 5 land is just far too much. We pretty much top out at 3. So I think this is a pretty safe mulligan here. This deck mulligans pretty decently well. We're going to keep this. I think we can safely put a claim to the bottom. We don't have anything to go with it yet, so it's especially not great. And we'll just get the Gutter Bones and see if we're up against the fabled and terrifying Temur Reclamation that Standard has basically become. It's basically all become. Yep, that looks to be it. All right, well, we can put this into play tapped. We'll say go. Not the start we want against this deck, but definitely not absolutely terrible. All right, that's eventually going to combo, maybe steal Uro and then be able to sacrifice it. So let's attack. There's no point in playing Midnight Reaper first, because if they wanted to kill Gutter Bones, that would actually unincentivize them to kill it, because they'd rather kill Midnight Reaper. So we are just going to go like that, play Midnight Reaper, and pass. Very likely they're just going Growth Spiral. Yep. Okay. Your go. All right. Well, there's not much we can do if they have Nightpack Ambusher, if they're playing that version. So I think we just have to jam and hope. Oh, no. The Ambusher is definitely not great against us, that's for sure. Huh? It's not that. Just a removal spell? Oh, okay. That's not too bad. Okay. That is bad. Not drawing any action there is unfortunate. Not another oven. And then we'll just say go. Definitely not an ideal start here. But game 2, we do get to bring in a nice little toy that is insane in this matchup in the form of Rotting Regisaur. Now, is there any reason to play this first? They could have a counter spell, so I think we jam first and maybe don't even play it. I think that would probably be wrong, but... Okay, now... Can have dispute. I mean, they can have so many things, but I think we just have to jam. All right. Please resolve. Okay. Now we'll just say go. We could have claimed it to give it haste, but yeah, then if they have something like this, it gets to be quite awkward. Are we okay drawing this card next turn? I think we are. It's one of our best cards, so let's put it on top. And we can always change our mind with Fabled Passage. It's a little unfortunate that we'll lose the damage, but... Okay, 5 cards. So they are getting... They are in Uro range. If they do have Uro, they could maybe play. Okay, I mean, play and bring Uro here. I think they're just... Well, they're going to gain 6, so maybe not. But they're going to be close. But no land. Alright. So we're going to start with this. Play our land for sure for Mystical Dispute. Well, that's unfortunate, but I think we just put it right back on top. Alright, and then we're going to give them the beatdowns. And now if they play Uro, it's not the worst because we have Claim, but if they deal with Claim, then I think we're just toast. Because we can deal with the Uro. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think we have 10. And they're going to gain 3. So it's definitely not over, even if this resolves on Uro. But it's definitely over if it doesn't. Which is unfortunate. Alright, I'd like to take this. Could they have another gust, I guess? I could have played Mayhem Devil first, but then this can get disputed, and this is very important right now. Alright. What are they thinking about? I mean, if they have gust number 3, I mean, okay, so that is ours. We can attack first. I want to see what they do. Maybe we even hit a land to put into play off Uro. And then we can play around Mystical Dispute with this. Okay. Yep. Exactly that. Alright, take 8. Play a Mayhem Devil. Okay. And I mean, we did play around the card that they had pretty nicely. Auto pay. Sack Uro. Them to 5, which is a convenient life total. We get 2 food, so that's 2 damage right there. They kind of have to deal with Mayhem Devil. But if they do, we are actually just in trouble again. And they're 1 card short of Uroing. Yeah, and I mean, even just any card Uro into Uro here is a problem unless we can top deck out of it. Just sacking Blast Zone. Okay. 1 upstairs. Okay, we're gonna need a nice one here. We'll take a Claim the Firstborn. I believe we put one on bottom, but we've shuffled since then, so... But without it, we are definitely in trouble. Oh, yes! That was not fair. That was not fair at all. Wow. Better luck than good, my fellow Droppin Baums fans. Woo! That was nice. Okay, Rotting Regisaur is my favorite card against him. It is quite powerful. Let's think through everything else. Pro Green, not in love with that. Heartless Act seems okay. Dealing with Uro, Noxious Grasp is just a better answer to Uro if we want to go down that route, but we don't want to play too many of those things. Let going down to like 2 claim. Agonizing Remorse is pretty decent. Now, what don't we want here? I suppose Priest of Forgotten Gods is not great. And probably Midnight Reaper. But Midnight Reaper does fade Aether Gust, but it does walk into like Flame Sweep if people have that. It's easier in open deck list tournaments, that's for sure. We could take out Mayhem Devil to completely play around Aether Gust and make that a bad card. But I think their Aether Gusts are already pretty bad, so we might as well leave in our good card. Yeah, let's take out Lazotep Reaver. It's just one of the weaker cards. And I think I want some hand disruption against him. So let's do a little bit of trimming. I think we can go down to like 2 Priest, and I want to cut 2 3-drops. And what are the worst ones? I think Woe Strider has diminishing returns, so I'm leaning towards that. Call of the Death Dwellers is not great either because they exile everything. So let's take out that. I think we do want Heartless Act or Noxious Grasp. Just one of them in case they have Night Pack Ambusher. But maybe Priest is just better at keeping that card in check. That card does seem like you should take it out against decks that are just trying to kill your creatures. But I mean, if it ever resolves, it wreaks havoc on games. So I think it maybe is a mistake just to take that card out ever. And oh yeah, this is a nice one. We can keep this happily. Okay, definitely want to get the beatdowns going, so I think Gutter Bones is the good way to start, so that was a pretty nice draw. Alright, beatdown, see if they want to deal with this. Wouldn't be shocked. I mean, this is a nice Scorching Dragonfire target. Brazy B, not as good, but Brazen Bar actually is better against us, or at least good against us, when we're bringing in the Rotting Regisaur. That's the one card I wanted when I played Temur Reclamation this last weekend against Rotting Regisaur. I lost to it many times. That's kind of the main reason I wanted to play this version of Rakdos on the show, just because I do think it's quite good and quite powerful here. So now we got plenty of options. I could see like Oven Cat Cat. I could see Agonizing Remorse, see what they have. I could see attack first. I think for sure attack first. See what they do. The only thing I don't want to do is just put a lot of creatures on the board and then get flame sweeped. So I do think I want to take a look at the hand first. And then we'll be able to decide from there. Spicy. Spicy, spicy. Not that big of a deal. Our hand is quite redundant. So we kind of get to take 2 cards from him here, so I really don't mind that too much. Yeah, and there's that Flame Sweep. If we would have went, you know, Priest into Cat, we would have really gotten blown out. And here we have all black cards, so I think pretty easy take here. They do have Blast Zone here to kind of clean house a little bit, so we'll have to diversify our threats, but playing the Cat is definitely still worth it here. Uh-oh, are we frozen? Frozen. Oh no. Okay. All right, and then we'll play Cat and we'll pass back. I mean, they're still in a lot of trouble here, so. Blast Zone seems like a nice play that they can make. Okay, so I don't want to play Oven. I am just going to attack first. See if they want to pop Blast Zone. If they do, I think I'll just go 1-drop, 1-drop, 1-drop. Okay, if not, I'll play Woe Strider. Alright, and we'll say go. Don't really care if they go Brazen Borrower. That card, it's iffy because I feel like maybe you want to bring in a few of those copies just, you know, in case they have Rotting Regisaur, you just can't beat that card. So it makes sense, but then it is quite awkward against the rest. Same with Aether Gust. I think you have to have it for Claim and you have to have it for Mayhem Devil. And that's why I love this matchup, because you put them into such tough decisions. Okay, do we want to scry the goat? I kind of think so. We got him on the ropes, and I want to have something other than a 1-drop to play. That's something other than a 1-drop. All right, I'm in. Beatdowns. They got to act eventually, yeah. Now we're just going to unload 1-drops. Okay. Sack Cat. Scry. Do we want another cat? I don't think so, actually. Sack Gutter Bones. Castle Lochthwain. Definitely not bad. Good at refueling if they tend to stop us. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that. Bang. Alright, we'll play this. We'll play this. We'll play this. And we'll say go. It's gonna be tough for him to come back from already. I will take the beatdowns. Put Kitty Cat in the oven. And we're going to bring it back because we plan on attacking. And we can sack it to Woe Strider so it doesn't get taken away. Alright. Beatdowns. Take 3. Yeah, I mean, I think this is just completely fine. Have him take 3. Play another Woe Strider. And say go. Play your Brazen Bar. That's not gonna get the job done here. What they really need is Uro, but like they're just too far behind. This should be Temur Reclamation opponent number 1 going down. I kind of hope we play 3 of them and we 3-0 them just to solidify that this is going to be a good choice moving forward this weekend for not only the second round of Players Tours, but also the Star City Online Tour, which I'll be playing in, so it should be pretty fun. All right, stay tuned for round number 2 here with Rakdos Sacrifice. See you soon. All right, and welcome to round number 2 here with Rakdos Sacrifice. Looks like we're on the play. Let's see if we're up against the dreaded Temur Reclamation back-to-back. Although I do kind of want to just play it because we are supposed to beat them, so I do want to test out to make sure that's true. All right, so Cat, pass to them. This hand's perfectly fine. Priest on 2. If we're up against anything aggro, claiming with Priest is just going to be insane. All right, that could be anything. Definitely Priests, what we want to get down. So if they aren't playing Temur Rec and they drop a creature, being able to claim something is going to be quite strong. All right, green. Yeah, I guess I can still be Temur Reclamation. I don't know why I said that in a surprised, in a surprised tone. A forest? Okay, Temur Rec. Interesting. So I wouldn't mind just like attacking with Cat, playing Woe Strider, sacking Cat plus the Goat, and then playing Fiend Artisan? That seems perfectly reasonable, but it also seems reasonable to just attack. And then just play Woe Strider and leave this kind of priest interaction. Getting rid of a cat for kind of no value doesn't seem to make enough sense right now, so I think I'm just going to give the beatdowns. That could be wrong, though. I'm sure if I played, 100 rounds or 100 matches with this deck, I would have known for sure if that was right or wrong. And, feel free to leave in the comment section if you think that something like that is what we shouldn't be doing. Ended up working out pretty well. Now we're going to leave Priest back. We're going to get in there for 4. And now we could easily have a Mystical Dispute. Something like that to gain some value. But it doesn't seem like something where we're supposed to hold back here. So let's lead on Fiend Artisan. Because if they have it, they're gonna counter anything, absolutely anything. Yeah, just because you almost have to. So now I'm gonna take this opportunity to get Mayhem Devil into play. We're gonna sack this and this. Okay, now Mayhem Devil. Sack this. One upstairs. Play the bones and pass to them. Good luck. Good luck. This just seems so hard for Team Erect to deal with. And we don't even have our zombie dinos in play yet. I am loving this deck. I am loving it. Yeah, get wrecked. I mean, what can you do? What can you do in a situation like that? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. That was an insane draw, but wow, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Okay, so Roddy Regisaurs. Like trimming some claims. I think 2 is the right number, but I could be persuaded into a different number. And then Agonizing Remorse is what we did last time. I think if it ain't broke, like, why are we going to try to fix it? Now, Fiend Artisan is a card that I'm just really interested in maybe cutting. Because this whole toolbox aspect to the deck is not insane. And it is an Aether Gust target because it is a Golgari hybrid card. But it's also just a giant creature that doesn't die to Scorching Dragonfire sometimes. But I think the sometimes clause is not enough. Definitely leave our 1-drops. Those are great. Believe we can take out Call of the Death Dwellers. 1 Woe Strider. And then I almost just think 3 Fiend Artisans. Seems like the way to do it. I could be wrong on that, but we're gonna kind of keep to what we've been liking so far, and it seems like the least aggressive creature and more toolboxy card, which is great in certain situations, but I don't think necessarily against a deck that may have Flame Sweeps, a deck that has Aether Gusts. So yeah. All right, we're gonna keep this. We got a plan. Zombie Dino. Okay. Didn't want another land, but I have a feeling we'll be discarding some cards, so should be fine. Now, if we can draw a 2-drop or just another 1-drop to curve into this should be great. Oh, baby, that was perfect. That was perfect. All right, beatdowns. Now, let's just clear the way for our 7/6. Don't have Expansion Explosion. It happened to us last game, and it was not good then, but it would be good against us now. Okay. I think just Scorching Dragonfire here. Don't really care about anything else. Shark Typhoon maybe because it steps in front of Rotting Regisaur better. But I think them killing our creatures is better than the latter here. Than just a chump blocker. Okay. Okay, beat downs. They can make a 2/2 shark block. We do not care. Not a bad play. I mean, I'm sure I would make it from the other side. You just hope they don't have Rotting Regisaur, because that card is just so tough to deal with. And hopefully we see the impact of it this game as well. There's just not much they can have, you know? Makes sense. Growth Spiral into land, Shark Typhoon for 1. Or that. So they missed a land drop, so they only have gas in hand. Rotting Regisaur, you go. Now we're going to discard this more than likely. Getting rid of Gutter Bones permanently is annoying because the Gutter Bones interaction with Rotting Regisaur is pretty nice. Just being able to return to your hand, then discard it when you want to save another card. Now something like Wilderness Reclamation into Cycle a Shark, I'm scared of that because then they can go the following turn, if they have a land, Expansion Explosion, and kill the Rotting Regisaur. Oh, this is insane. This is not fair. I have the 1 damage. Oh, yes! Opponent's just like, I can't beat that card. And while that may be a little bit of a premature concession, you know, in most scenarios, that's just how good this card is. And that is, you know, the #1 card that I'm looking to be playing. Looking forward to this next weekend. I just think it's unreal. So stay tuned for our 3rd and final round. Let's make it 3 Temur Rex and just give them the elbow every time. So stay tuned for our 3rd and final round. All right, and welcome to our 3rd and final round here with Rakdos Sacrifice. We are definitely blessed. We are on the play again here, so gotta love that. And let's see if we're up against Temur Reclamation again. The deck of the weekend, and definitely the deck proving to be dominant in Standard. Forest, okay, it's the mono green beatdown deck. Now, let's see. Do we want to attack Butcher into a Pelt Collector is the real question. I think the answer is yes, because that card gets very scary. So does Butcher, though, so I would imagine they just trade. Okay. Ping to the dome. I don't know how the green matchup is with this. I have absolutely no idea. Oh, Gruul. Okay. So this could be Bone Crusher Giant to stomp something. So we don't want to play Midnight Reaper just because of that. Play Mayhem Devil to get around that card. Maybe they just stomp our face then, and we're just like, yep, you got it. You don't want to play into the card that they probably have here. If it's Scorching Dragonfire, whatever, but it would have been good regardless. Paid off. Okay. Alrighty. We could play Midnight Reaper, get in there, and just accept the drawing a card here. It seems worth it to me, to be honest. So we don't have any sack engine to make it better, plus we can draw into something. Our trade here is a favorable trade, not because their creature is better, but because we get this buffer here with Midnight Reaper. Okay. And let's play Gutter Bones to kind of get the aggro going. And we'll pass. QB, yep. It's a scary one. Can't really get through that one at the moment. And just really, you know, I mean, I was just going to say, we don't have removal that really lines up well against it. So this is going to be scary. So I kind of think we want to attack here. Kind of expected that, but maybe not necessarily. Oh, what am I thinking? Okay, I'm glad I didn't miss this play because we could just claim the priest here. You know, maybe I would have thought that differently. We probably would have, yeah, okay. So maybe not the best of plays on our part. I totally forgot this interaction. All right, upstairs. So we are gonna draw so many cards. Wow. All right, I was just, never mind. Claim was still the best possible draw we could have had. Okay. Wow. Unreal. This deck is so good. I want to just get oven going, get this drawing going. So let's sack this just to see what we draw. And we are kind of playing with fire a little bit here. But we got cat going and stuff, so I think we should be okay. Bring a Gutter Bones back, and then, play a Gutter Bones, excuse me, and then say go. Like, another questing beast is good, but I actually think they would just be dead. So I guess it's not good. Yeah, that claim was insane. That claim was absolutely busted. Wow, I think I might be in love with this deck, y'all. This deck is awesome. I thought it was going to be good for the metagame, but it's kind of blowing expectations for me so far. Yup. Killing Midnight Reaper, interesting. Okay, it's dead. Okay. Sure. Not drawing great. But I think we're still quite far ahead. Alright, I think I got a plan here. So we're going to start by attacking. Either or they block, we don't care. We'll sacrifice that to the oven. I think that's the wrong one to block. Yeah, I think you still block Gutter Bones. Now we just sacrifice this. Bang. Now return the bones. Play the bones. Sack. Okay. Not a great draw there. But let's play Priest. Return a bones. Play a bones. And say go and bring a cat back. Yeah. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Okay. So against Gruul. Protection from green. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be brought in against. I guess Nissa? Guess Nissa decks? Maybe this, though. I mean, I guess the mono green deck as well. I mean, definitely the mono green deck. This card is a house against them. And this is somewhat similar, except they have Questing Beast and Embercleave, so I think it's quite different in that regard. So let's bring in these. Rotting Regisaur is actually okay against him. I like Active Treason for Questing Beast. This is good against their aggro stuff. Now, what don't we like? What is slow-ish? I actually like the Artisan, I think, in these matchups. Midnight Reaper is bad because of Stomp. And I think that's kind of the same for Woe Strider. I like kind of transitioning into the control route on the draw and just trying to kill a lot of things. So maybe I want sack outlets still, maxing out on sack outlets since I have a bunch of claims. Could see that. And I like the silver bullets of Lassatep Reaver to sacrifice a 1-drop, put a Reaver into play, sack both of those to Priest. That's pretty good. Same with Butcher. If they have a 1/1, you want to be able to sacrifice that. Actually, the Butcher I don't think is necessary. And 1 gutter bones. Okay. Not sure on that last cut, but I like the other cuts. And the last one, it's like, it's one of anything, whatever. It doesn't truly matter that much. Okay, yeah. Claim and Oven, I think, is just something we really look for against him. Alright, Oven. Might just be Heartless acting, obviously. It doesn't kill Pelt Collector. Okay, we could play Fiend Artisan here, but once again, this looks like a stomp turn. I think this is just a Heartless Act turn. Just leave up Heartless Act. Try to kill something that way. If we just play Fiend Artisan, it plays into Stomp, and that seems bad. So let's just do that. Oh, didn't have it that time, but that's okay. Gruul Spellbreaker. Well, I think this is like the one opportunity to use this. Because it's definitely not good against a Spellbreaker unless they give it haste. But we can claim that if anything. So let's just destroy Pelt Collector. See what they want to do with this. Sweet. Now it's interesting if we want to do a setup turn and just play Mayhem Devil, say go, hope they don't do anything too crazy. Maybe that Heartless Act was a little too aggressive, because if they go Questing Beast, we're actually in a little bit of trouble. Alright, but what if we go Mayhem Devil and say go, they play Questing Beast, attack for 8, that's okay. And then we can go Fabled Passage, claim this, attack, sack it, sack the land. So I don't have to deal with Questing Beast. So I think we just minimize damage right now. Use our very effective 1 mana. Kill anything. Get a bunch of tokens. Or get a bunch of... Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Yeah, now we're kind of in trouble. I'm going to play a land, and then I'm going to just say go. I can block Mayhem Devil and then pump, but if they have Embercleave, of course we're just dead. Deals damage equal to power. Okay, well, I'm going to sack that. Now that prevents him from attacking this turn, because we can just block and then ping with Fabled Passage. But if they have another one, yeah, that's bad. Okay. Act of Treason, here we come. I guess we should thin our deck. Take that Act of Treason right meow. Not bad. Whoa, Strida. Do have enough cards to bring it back, so I think this might be a chump blocking opportunity. Now, if they have land Embercleave, we're just dead. Can't play around that. Alright, let's sack this to try to look for Act of Treason. That's not an Act of Treason. And now we can safely sack this. Get some extra food. Okay. Let's gain some life. You just gotta assume they have it. They missed the land drop. They haven't had a chance to cast it yet. All of it spells out that they have it. Okay. But we can't play around it anymore, so we just have to assume they don't have it. Have to assume they don't have... Oh, I should have left Mayhem Devil. Just in case I drew Call of the whatever, whatchamacallit. Alright. Gruul me. Gruul me dead. That's a confident player right there. Alright, let's go here. We're gonna make the best blocks possible. If they don't have it, if they do, it just doesn't matter. Yep. Okay, well that was a little unfortunate, but I think we might have lost the game by Heartless acting there that prematurely. Yeah, that was unfortunately a misplay. So, I mean, they have Domri's ambush to be able to stop this. So it doesn't seem great to me. I think we just stick with our game plan and try to get him dead. Don't like Scorching Dragonfire on the play. Maybe Heartless Act is just bad. They have too many counters. Just seems too situational of a counterspell. So maybe we just try to be a little bit more aggressive. Yeah, I kind of like it. Alright, I'd rather have a 1 of Midnight Reaper than a 1 of Regisaur. For searching effects, let's say we have Cat Oven going. Sack the cat, bring in a Midnight Reaper, bring it back with a food, and get that draw going constantly. And it's a nice way to like restock if we're out of gas. No. Yeah, I think it's too risky. I mean, we do have just like cat into oven. At worst, even if we don't hit a land. But even if we hit a land, it's just not very good. So we better mulligan. Okay, this is much better. Think we can safely just get rid of a swamp. Or a cat. Nah, swamp. Or a cat. Cat or a swamp. Cat or a swamp. I think just a swamp. We can easily get flooded. It's pretty tough to not want to just cast a cat, you know? It's not insane or anything by any means, but... Alright. Cat, they mulliganed as well, so an even playing field. Good card, good card. Can't cast it this turn, but... Well, I immediately regret putting the land on bottom. If I would have known I was drawing that, I would have much rather played Priest instead of Cat here. Alright, could be a bone crush. That means I kind of don't want to play this, but we definitely want the red source. Dang it, we're gonna have to. Come on, kill it. Yikes. Don't have it, don't have it, don't have it. Oh, they have it. Oh, okay, that's not bad. That would have happened regardless, but Bone Crusher is just pretty devastating. Okay. Gruul Adventures, huh? Land, please. No! Ugh, God, we got so punished. So punished for putting that third land on the bottom. I guess Fiend Artisan might have been better, too. Yeah, I guess that was just all wrong to put that on the bottom. Gonna be a tough one to sneak out from here. Oh, wow. Okay. That's not bad. So now let's claim... Probably just the higher tough... Or higher power creature. We don't really care about the draw. I just need them to not kill me on the crackback, essentially. Beatdowns... They block the shield breaker, we just don't sack it. If they block the cat, we let it die, sack the shield breaker. Okay. Alright, here we go. Yeah, we might be able to steal this one away. Literally steal it away. We need to draw land. Need to. They can't really attack with the Innkeeper unless they want to risk losing it. But if they do just attack with both, Ember Cleave the Questing Beast, we just win if we get to draw land. Okay. But yeah, if they're smart, they just save their Ember Cleave until it just actually kills me. Yeah, sure. Okay. All right, that was huge. Now, what's the best way we stay alive? The shock land part of it might actually be devastating, but all right. I mean, just killing Questing Beast here and then having chump blockers, I think, is enough. 10. Oh god, it's not. We're exactly still dead if they just Ember Cleave this up and attack. That's unfortunate. Unless they block one cat. Okay, well, we have no real choice. Now, what if we attack with the cats? They're not gonna block. And if they block here, then I feel good about the game. If they don't block and they do some math here, then I do not feel good about the game. Ooh, actually, we don't die. First strike damage kills the cats, and then we can bring them back. Oh, they might even go for this too. Because I mean, I didn't notice that play. And then we just might steal this game. Then we have exactly enough to crack back. Ooh, come on, come on. Have Ember Cleave and not see it. God, these Act of Treason-like effects, whenever you have a sack engine, is just so insane against aggro. That's why I really like this deck right now. If I can build it in such a way that we can beat Temur Reclamation consistently. Ooh. Okay. Okay, I think we just win. All attack. I think I just want that to die. Meow. Whoa, Strider. Sack, 2 food. I don't think they're dead quite yet. Yeah, but I mean, I guess they either thought they were or it was close enough and they were gonna die next turn. So hey, a nice little spot to finish. Hitting Mythic. Hitting Mythic going 3-0 with an aggressive deck. I don't know if many of you know this about me, but before all my Yorian love, you know, before my cat combos, I was a Rakdos beatdown player. This is my favorite archetype by far back in the day. So I'm happy to get the 3-0 with a deck that I love and that I am definitely going to be looking at moving forward. So yeah, this deck might be sneaking in under the radar for this weekend. Don't take it lightly. And you know, let's try to leave some comments here. Any additions that you like about this deck, because now I'm interested. All of a sudden, I think I'm switching up what I'm playing this weekend because this deck was nice. All right, everyone, I want to thank you so much for watching this week's Droppin Bombs. We're going to head over to the deck tech and we're going to talk about some of the specific card choices that Eli Loveman chose to put in this Rakdos Sacrifice deck. See you over there. All right, everyone, and welcome to the Deck Tech here with Rakdos Sacrifice, brought to us by Eli Loveman from the Players Tour this last weekend. And let's talk about some of the card choices as well as, our matchups. Well, first off, we started off with what I was really expecting to play against in, my Droppin Baums here is two Temur Reclamation decks, I just think this is what we have to expect going forward for this last weekend of Standard, basically, before M21 comes into play. And there's no surprise that we played against two of them. People are still getting ready for these high-level events. Got the SCG Open. We got Players Tours events this weekend. And let me tell you, this deck did not disappoint in those matchups at all. It was an easy 2-0 beating to both of them. And then we played against Gruul, and, we had our close games. But dang, the resiliency of this deck, it just really surprised me. So let's talk about the deck here. Starting off, 4 Cauldron Familiar, 4 Gutter Bones, 4 Witch's Oven. No surprise. That is complete stock Rakdos Sacrifice. I don't have to go into detail why this is in the deck. This is what we've been seeing for years, and I'm even going to go a little bit deeper and talk about every card that is basically stock here. So 4 Claim the Firstborn might be one more than normal, but regardless, completely reasonable that there's 4 Priest of the Forgotten Gods, 4 Mayhem Devil, 4 Woe Strider. That's the stock stuff. That is what we've expected. Now we're going to talk about the little bit of, kind of left field stuff that we're seeing here. And that's 1 Dreadhorde Butcher, 1 Lazotep Reaver as... something that would be very random normally. But with 3 Fiend Artisan, it makes sense. These are 2 cards that have really defining roles in mostly when you're getting Priest of the Forgotten Gods. That's really all they are, is Priest of the Forgotten Gods helpers. One is sacrifice one of your 1-drops that comes back, Cauldron Familiar, Gutter Bones, to go get Dreadhorde Butcher, sack Butcher, one other thing, deal 1 damage to an X1 creature, and then if they have another big creature, let's say, a 1/1 shark and an Uro on the battlefield, you want to get your Butcher because the Butcher deals the 1 damage to the shark, and then they sacrifice the big creature to the Priest of the Forgotten Gods. So that's the role that card plays, as well as just if you draw it on turn 2, play it, attack. It's still fine. Lazotep Reaver, pretty similar. Let's say you only have Fiend Artisan, Cauldron Familiar, and Priest of the Forgotten Gods. You don't really want to just get rid of your Fiend Artisan if you don't have to. Even Gutter Bones. Let's take it to the next level. Sack Gutter Bones, pay 3 mana for Fiend Artisan, sacrifice Gutter Bones, get Lazotep Reaver, sack Lazotep Reaver and the Amass token, have them sacrifice a creature, use that 2 mana to return Gutter Bones to your hand. That's the interaction with that. And then also 3 Midnight Reaper is something that we haven't seen a ton of, but I've been really impressed with it so far. I mean, there's not a ton of shocks in the metagame, and there's just not that many Claim the Firstborns, and it just seems like a really good card to me moving forward, and it played out that way as well, especially when these Temur decks are trying to actually kill your threats, with something like Flame Sweep, where you just get to restock, where most of their game plan is to just keep killing your creatures and then eventually win with Uro against these Rakdos Sacrifice decks. They still usually have Expansion Explosion and stuff like that too, but not as big of a deal. And then we have, I mentioned Mayhem Devil, I mentioned Woe Strider, and then 1 Call of the Death Dwellers. I'd be interested with how Eli came to just 1 of this card. It's really good sometimes when you draw it. Like, I think round 1 we did some silly things with it. But overall, if you draw too many of that cards, when you're not sacrificing as many things, it can be a little awkward. And then the mana base looks great here. You'd probably think, why are we playing Stomping Grounds and no green creatures? It's just a little bit of versatility to cast Fiend Artisan. It's basically Mountain 3 and 4, but it also casts Fiend Artisan. You don't want to draw 2 mountains and a swamp with Fiend Artisan. You would much rather draw Mountain, Stomping Ground, Swamp. In that configuration to be able to cast your spells. So, all right, that's the main deck of the deck. I love it. Maybe I'm going to make some changes moving forward. I'm going to be doing some streaming to prepare for these events. But I'm loving this deck, and I'm definitely going to be pursuing it. All right, we'll go to the sideboard here. We got 3 Agonizing Remorse, any kind of control deck, Azorius control, Bant Ramp. I've been bringing it against Temur Rec. I'm not sure if that's 100% positive. I might just message, the madman himself, Eli Loveman, and see what he brings it in against. Blight Beetle is definitely for these mono green decks that put so many counters on their creatures, as well as it just seems good against Bant Ramp as a good one of to stop Nissa, stop Hydroid Crisis. Might be a little extreme there, but I think it does seem interesting. Heartless Act and Noxious Grass kind of serve the same roles of when you're on the draw, you want to kill Mayhem Devil. Against mono green, you need to kill some of their creatures. Stuff like that I think is really important. Ember Shieldbreaker is definitely for food, or other oven decks, but other Rakdos sacrifice decks, I don't think you really want it. But specifically for Jund Food, which I think is a pretty bad matchup. 1 Scorching Dragonfire as well. I mean, the 4 removal spells just all kind of screamed to me that Eli ran the numbers and didn't want too many Noxious Grass because you want to bring in Scorching Dragonfire against Jund Food, or you want to bring it in against Rakdos Sacrifice. So you don't want to overload against stuff like that. The numbers seem to make sense to me, even though they look a little obscure, but I'm going to trust Eli on that. And here, and then we're going to talk about 1 Act of Treason, comes in against, we brought it in against Questing Beast here in this last round, and it was a game winner, if not, a match winner. It was just excellent. You can't take all these 4-drops, can't take Gem Razor, stuff like that. So it seems like your 5th claim, the Firstborn, that's a little more versatile, which makes sense to me. And then the card I'm most excited about, which actually made me want to play this deck because I lost to it so much this last weekend when I was playing Temur Reclamation, and that's Rotting Regisaur. I think Rotting Regisaur is filling a hole in the metagame right now that I think is just excellent because doesn't get hit by Aether Gust, doesn't get hit by Scorching Dragonfire. It's excellent against Temur Reclamation. The best deck right now. It's what you want to be casting on turn 3 every single game against them. So I'd love 4 of them. I'm sure there's other applications that you want it against, but, for instance, you don't want it against Teferi decks, so it's not that good against Bant. Sultai, they have good removal for it that they can use during your turn, so I don't think you want it against Sultai. I think it might just be a Temur Reclamation card here. That would make sense to me. So, all right, everyone, that is Rakdos Sacrifice here, brought to us by Eli Loveman, who top-8'd this last Players Tour. And I love the deck. I am going to be pursuing it moving forward, like I've said many times. About this deck, and I hope you do as well. So feel free to try the deck. Let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, I love hearing from you, the viewers. And thank you so much for watching another episode of Droppin Baums. We'll see you next week.